So I'm out here in the garden with Doug from Tsugawa Nurseries up in Woodland, Washington. And Doug, I think in springtime, we all are excited to get out there and plant, all that stuff is happening, and we forget sometimes about our water features and ponds. There is some specific things that you can do now to really get ready for the whole season.
Correct.
So give us some input. Let's talk about that.
Well, here at Tsugawa's, we like to call it the 4 It's of algae control.
What would that 4 It's be?
Well, I call it kill it, sink it, eat it, and starve it. Okay? And it's quite simple because all you have to do is remember that we're trying to defeat the algae and keep it out of the system itself. And you also want to start early in the season to take care of it, because if you let it get out of control, it'll take over the whole system.
Yeah.
So killing it would be using an algicide in the system itself. This is a liquid product added to the pond, typically weekly, to help control algae in the system itself.
And all you do is, I mean, it's the simplest, it's following the instructions for
Follow
the
the
size
instructions,
and all that.
yep, correct. This will treat about 96,000 gallons, so it treats a pretty good sized pond.
Okay.
And then this is the second It of algae control, which is I call the sink it, and this will clump the debris together to sink it to the bottom of the pool. Okay, doesn't solve the issue necessarily, but it gets it down to the bottom where the bacteria can help break it down and help get it out of the system.
So it really clarifies the
Correct.
water. Okay.
The other nice additive with this one is if you got a party coming up this weekend and the pond's a little hazy, you can use this in the pond. It'll clear it within 24 hours.
Nice.
Okay. And I also call it, like I said, the bottle of instant gratification. The third thing, which is bacteria. And bacteria is crucial because it actually helps break down the organic content in the bottom of the pool. It helps it decompose it to a fine material, and also breaks it down to a nutrient source. So here we use a beneficial bacteria in the system. This is typically added monthly into the system.
Okay. Now I see plants too, though, so that's obviously the fourth.
Correct. The plants are the fourth thing, and plants work in a lot of different factors. Here we've got some bog plants or marginal plants, and some work better than others. The water celery, for example, here is great at actually absorbing a lot of nitrogen out of the system itself. That plant will triple in size coming out of that container, and actually what it will do is there'll be a fibrous root that grows throughout that whole thing, and that will actually remove nutrient value.
So the roots actually would be like a filter almost.
You got it. It's a vegetation filter, actually,
Nice.
or bog filtration is what it will do. The other nice thing with it, in the pond, in the summer months, when the water temperature hits a crucial point, the fish actually become more active in the system. It's a great one because the fish love to eat it. And what happens as soon as that water temperature gets high enough, they'll go right after that, clean it up for you, actually prune it back, and then actually it'll outgrow it. And it's a great plant for the fish to eat.
Nature taking care of nature.
Correct, exactly.
Now, what about size? Like if I have just like say a half whiskey barrel, is this same principles?
Same principle will apply most certainly. We would just use smaller containers and smaller plant material that won't take it over as much.
And a lot of people have different types of fish in their ponds.
Correct.
Same
this
thing
is
with
safer
this.
fish. You wouldn't have to worry about fish. The only issue you would have to worry about is applying it on a hot day. Similar to spraying your lawn and garden stuff out in the yard, you want to spray it on a cooler, or apply it to the pond on a cooler day, or in the morning or in the evening when it's not too hot.
Well, you know, like I said, you know, when we started, Doug, there's so much going on in the gardens right now, but you certainly don't want to forget, you know, your ponds and getting them ready. And a little work now saves you time much later on. So if you have any questions at all, we would strongly suggest you come out and chat with Doug and the great staff out here at Tsugawa's in Woodland. And you can find out where that is by going to gardentime.tv, and we'll click you over to their website. Thanks so much, Doug.
Yep, thank you.